Hey everyone, John here from the Universal Lens. Today's episode will be audio only as we cannot get everyone to sync up their schedules and get into the studio to record video. So we will be back next week with video and audio, but for today, enjoy the podcast as audio only. You will see the podcast logo in the background if you're watching on YouTube, or else enjoy the content, enjoy the podcast. Have a great day. Be safe. Love to all, and we'll catch you guys next time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another fun-filled episode of the Universal Lens. I'm John Emilio, along as always,
Henry Beltra.
I put on my...
Flanked by Henry Beltra.
Flanked by Henry Beltra.
Like a good flank steak.
With my sexy voice.
Oh,
I'm too sexy for this show.
That's good. Unlike my sinus voice.
You don't sound easily at all, actually.
Good.
As you can see, Anthony's not with us right now. Anthony has taken some time he's been working on some projects of his own. He's been writing a book for a while, and he just really wants to focus on that stuff. And I get it. There are people, and it's actually, I think it's a good attribute.
Yeah.
When you say, I'm going to just focus on this. Yep. And he's continuing on his path with mindfulness. And
absolutely.
By the way, I had a cigar with him yesterday.
That's
I see him every day at the gym still. So none of that has changed. Much love to Anthony, and the chair is always here if he ever wants to come back, or if he wants to drop in for an episode here and there, which he said he would love to do. So
that's right. Actually, you know what?
You might see that tattooed
chair's open for you too.
Bearded man to come in. Who's I don't know who they are.
Come on, this guy says he doesn't know you, bro.
I don't know you.
All right, I know.
Stranger danger. That's what I was taught as a kid. This damn mic's annoying me right now. Okay, so anyway,
bro,
get house cleaning out of the way, done. And let's get back into it.
Yeah.
What we talk about last week?
Well,
it was Make America Mindful again.
Yes, but you were talking about practically speaking when somebody says, mindfulness. How do I do it?
Yes.
And that was great.
What are some tips for mindfulness? Yeah.
And I tell you, if we, as the show is constantly, the show is like an origami. You look at it from a different angle.
It changes.
And it changes.
But it's always the same thing.
As I was looking at you, I saw the bonsai tree.
But it's always an origami is the same picture. Just it's the same design. But it can look different when you look at it.
It actually applies perfectly.
That's what I was saying.
We can always come back to mindfulness.
Yes.
But I agree that the more practical advice we can give people, I think it would be useful. We have. By the way, we didn't speak off camera about this, but I'm going to bring up quite a bump up in views in the last video. I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah.
It could have been you the whole time.
No, it could. No. I logged in 30. No, it could have been the title.
Could have been.
It's a little bit of a
clickbaity.
It's not meant to be clickbait. Maybe it is, but it's not really meant to be clickbait. But it's clickbaity because that's the hashtag and the Make America Mindful again.
Yeah.
That's the whole premise of what we're trying to do going forward. So there was an uptick, but there's been a bunch of episodes that just hit higher view numbers. People come in and out. Sometimes just have people who are available to listen and watch at certain times.
Yeah.
Could
have been.
Yeah.
And you know what? I don't want to, and again, we didn't speak about this off camera either. Our pre-show today was about something completely different, but I want to thank, because I know he watches, Dr. Wenger.
Dr. Peter Wenger.
Dr. Wenger.
Great sports medicine.
I want to properly thank this guy. You're the man. Yes, you threw me for a loop a little bit, but thank you, sir. Thank you publicly.
See? You watch, you might even get a mention. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, trust me when I tell you.
They're based in Lawrenceville.
The
Great.
best.
Yeah, Peter Wenger, man. If anybody has a injury to their body, joint, muscular, go. I cannot recommend that man. I get nothing from this, believe me, because I'm one of his best patients.
I don't think he's lacking business, actually.
No, he's very busy.
I was told.
I highly recommend him.
I was told he's not taking any new patients.
No, he's not.
If it wasn't for you,
That's when they say, I know a guy.
Yeah.
And they come to the end and say, I know a guy. I got a guy.
And I'm going to bring in the Victor Vitello. I know a guy. He goes, tuna! No, but thank you, Dr. Wenger.
Yep.
Big
man.
shout out.
Yep. So
So coming back to mindfulness, one of the things I was thinking about, because these are the conversations we have off camera with people. So off camera, you know how it's incredible how much of our lives now revolves around speaking to different people about mindfulness. And whether it's somebody seeking your counsel or whether it's you saying, hey, we do this show, maybe you could benefit, just drop on in, have a listen. So every time I would have these conversations off air, and I've admitted this to you before, I've admitted it on camera, I find myself pushing mindfulness. And sometimes people don't take kindly to a good pushing, right?
most times people won't take kindly to something being thrust upon them or pushed onto them or told to them.
But so everybody understands where I'm coming from, and I know you do.
Yeah, sure.
Once you can taste and feel a different life with mindfulness, you almost have this, again, if you're built like us, you have a call that you need to share this because you need to experience this. You need to know what this is, what this feels like. And perhaps I let my passion run away with me, and I could become pushy. And so as I reflected, I almost said, if I could just have an ask of you, anybody listening, allow it to be around you. What does that mean? I'm not pushing anything. Just allow it to be around you. So we've mentioned before where, you may not have time to listen to the show, listen to it on your car ride to school, to work, to whatever it is that you're going to the gym. In your case, you listen to Eckhart Tolle at the gym, right?
Yes, I do.
We could be somebody's Eckhart Tolle. They could be listening to us at the gym. If we are palatable for you, you don't have to actively listen. All I ask is you passively listen. Just allow it. Allow the words to float in your space.
Okay, Scott Adams.
That's kind of how it is. Where I propose that you can achieve mindfulness through osmosis. Meaning, excuse me, that's a hard line, but
maybe I'm not going to say no.
I propose.
Yeah.
All right. I saved my life.
I'm not going to say no, but
I propose. Why did I propose? Because I was speaking to somebody, not yesterday, because yesterday was Friday, on Thursday. I was speaking to somebody on Thursday, and I found myself getting upset that this person wasn't practicing mindfulness. And I'm like, what am I doing here? I should be doing quite a softer approach here, because I'm not getting, now I granted the circumstances were, there were other factors, and I'm human and I got caught off guard a little bit too myself. So I found myself kind of like, you must. And then I'm like, look, here I am again with the you must, and nobody has to must anything.
Must shouldn't have to, horrible words.
So you know what because I'm mindful and I do come back, I was able to see myself, what I was doing.
Yeah.
And then I said to him like this. I said, let me pull back what I just said. And I just said, I just need your willingness. If you tell me you're willing, really, that's it. That's all we need. And I will help you, and I will help whoever needs help, but willingness. And, it's kind of that's going to be a little bit of our chat in a few days, is without willingness, this vehicle is going to stall,
Oh, of course, because I think that goes for anything in life. You have to be willing to go through something, willing to deal with something, because if you're not, you're just faking it, and faking it could work to a certain extent as a coping mechanism more than actual a beneficial or positive or kind of mechanism that actually will give you the fruits that you're looking for. So without willingness, it's like the person who would go to their therapist and do a exposure for OCD, let's just say, and you're doing the exposure, but you're doing the exposure in in the session with your therapist, right? Because you do it with them there, and they'll give you one to take home. But let's say you're doing it with your therapist, and you're doing it just to do it, just to say you did it, just to make your therapist happy, but you don't want to do it. Now, you might not want to do it, but you're still willing to do it. There's a difference. And that little willingness to do something that you don't want to do. Now, pay attention to the words. I'm going to do something I don't want to do. Already, there's a duality there. There's, well, who are these two eyes? How could I want to do something that I don't want to do? Right there, you should already start to pull back a little bit, like, oh, so there's two trains of thought here. Or there's a train of thought and something watching that train of thought, realizing, no, but this is not beneficial. Let's focus here.
Yeah, that's excellent.
That's what willingness is. The willingness is to see I don't want to do this. Fuck no, I don't want to do this.
Right.
Hell no, I don't want to do this. But I'm going to do it because I know the benefits are there on the other end. I know this is something beneficial for me. So I'm going to put myself through this uncomfortable process. And as opposed to saying, yes, do it. Now you're faking yourself. So it doesn't feel as intense because you're like, yeah, do it, whatever, do it. Okay. You go out, you leave, and then you want to know why you haven't gotten any better, why you don't see it any differently, why you're reacting and not responding to it, because you're not willing to feel uncomfortable. You're faking it. And in the beginning, I said it could be a phenomenal coping mechanism to fake it. At least you're showing yourself, I'm going to put myself in the situation. I don't want to be here. I'm not even willing to be here. I'm here, whatever. I'll fake it till I make it. That works to get you in the door. I would always say. It's like if you're working out and you're doing karate. I use this example a lot, and they would tell my daughter, fake it till you make it. That's good for the first week, the second week, but the third week, are you practicing? Are you willing to learn? Are you trying to learn?
Is there any improvement?
Because now you're just faking it every week, and you're not. If you're faking it every week, you've gotten in the door, but you haven't taken a step. So faking it'll get you in the door, but unless you're willing, that's why I love that word you brought up. That's the difference. Willingness means now I'm willing to do the hard stuff. And what we're talking about, it's not, depending on the situation, yes, it can be uncomfortable. That's probably a better word. I hate hard. Hard is a mental description and label we put on something. Something can be difficult. By nature. It's a difficult, uncomfortable thing to go through. I want to get shredded. I got to eat chicken and lean, and I got to do sit-ups, and I have to go through an uncomfortable process. Exactly. Or I just want to say I'm going to go to work out because I want to stay in shape. Okay, so I've set my bar where I want to go. I'm only willing to go that far. But you need that willingness to see any results. You got to be willing to feel that uncomfortable feeling. And in this world, it's going to be whether it's a thought or an emotion, a feeling, something in real life that you're actually dealing with. You have to be willing to feel that uncomfortable feeling and go through that to get that, to get that benefit.
But I just when you were first starting to explain something, you hit something so beautifully, because let me highlight that. So when I was speaking to this person very much wanted help, very much so. But at the same time, I got no time for help. All right. I got no time for this. So you made a good point. When you were going into your sessions, what do you call those sessions?
Exposure. ERP, yeah. Exposure,
so when you go into those exposure sessions, you know that there's a side of you that goes, oh, this is going to be very, very uncomfortable. And there's another side of you that says, I can't wait to do it because I want to get through whatever it is that I need to get through. So it's almost like a decision has to be made. And who's going to make the decision? The watcher you or the ego you? You almost have to have that decision. And that decision, if it's made by the watcher you, that willingness, things can flow. If it's made from the ego you, where, oh yeah, we're going to do this, it could be a false.
Well, yeah, it's
a false negative.
No, it's not a false negative. You're trying to trick yourself, and it doesn't work.
There you go. You're lying to yourself.
We've always said you can't trick your mind.
There you go.
You can't lie to your own mind knows if you're bullshitting yourself or not.
Yeah.
So if you're willing to do it, there's a knowing, and that's probably the best way to explain it. There's a knowing that you're willing to do it. There's not a whole, story behind it. Well, I'm willing because I want to be the best, and I want to be. No, I'm willing. I'm willing to do the uncomfortable thing because it's beneficial for me.
Who's the I in that sentence?
So it's always the same. It's always technically, spiritually speaking. Like if you listen to Eckhart Tolle, Sadhguru, Thich Nhat Hanh, and I mean, whoever you want to listen to, John Emilio, they're always going to tell you it's still the ego who makes the decision, because the ego is always a thinking mind. But if the thinking mind is left unchecked, it means there's no awareness, there's no watcher, as you just said, which I love that word, but whatever word.
Yeah, I use it as so you could see.
So the watcher doesn't make the decision. The watcher, that's why I said there's a knowing. It notices, and once it notices that I'm not willing to do this, all of a sudden that willingness arises, and you realize, I want to do this. I want to be uncomfortable because I know the benefits. You allow another level of higher intelligence to kind of bubble up above that. The ego is a term that we use it, and it's used very loosely. It's like mindfulness.
Well, thinking mind.
It's the thinking mind. Anytime you have a thought, technically it's ego. They say ego is like, I'm an egoic person. Ego is just the thinking mind. But if the thinking mind is left unchecked, and if the thinking mind is always the judge and the jury, if it's the judge and the jury, then you're at the mercy of a mechanism that you have zero control over. Now, the only way you gain control is by, now you have this ability to see yourself thinking, to see yourself have these emotions arise. You notice your own biases. Like I notice my biases every day. Like nowadays it's like, that's a bias. And that's a bias, and that's a bias, and I'm noticing it's all just my mind. This is what it's learned to do, and then with that mindfulness approach, with that consciousness, awareness, whatever you want to use, the willingness comes in there because now you see, and you're like, hold on a second, this faking it bullshit doesn't work. You realize that there's a realization comes in, you're like, I need to do this a certain way, and I don't need to I'm going to be the best, and I'm going to kick ass. And that's a story that you're giving yourself to make yourself amp up.
It's a stereotype.
But that's the people when they amp themselves up. I'm going to do it. Okay, it has a place. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm going to get into a fight with somebody.
Sure.
I'm going to be attacked.
You want to be ready?
Well, let's go. Come on. Yes, sure. You could talk yourself up. But it works in those certain circumstances. Right. When you're dealing with having a struggle upstairs or wanting to accomplish something, and you have to drum up that willingness to want to be uncomfortable, you can only do that to a certain extent. Eventually, you start talking to yourself, and another story comes up, and then another story to why you should, why you shouldn't, why you should, why you should. Unless you realize that those stories keep coming up, and ultimately, this is what you'll. When you have awareness, you always ultimately know where you want to go. Like the path doesn't get hidden anymore. So that person you were talking to, whatever they were dealing with, they'll know whatever I'm going through. I don't want to be stuck where I am. Like I know I want to be there. I know I want to be there. They might not even know why or how they know. They know they want to be there. And that's a base level awareness that's saying better for you. Like they're tapped into something that says that's better for you. Most people walk around just, if their mind says blue, it's blue. If their mind says red, it's red. If their mind says something I always say is, if you leave yourself to just believing everything you think, today's a good day. My mind wakes up and goes, I'm happy. This is great. I got this mindfulness stuff. It's awesome. I get it. I see my thoughts. Yeah, my thoughts. Okay. Yeah. I'm not going to get upset at that today. No problem. What about tomorrow when you wake up and your mind goes, I'm not in the mood. Everything is pissing me off. I'm just upset. Now what? Are you going to sit with that? Are you going to be able to navigate that? Because mindfulness doesn't mean that it's ponies and rainbows every day in your head. No, my child. That's not how it works.
That's right.
Mindfulness means you wake up tomorrow and you're in a bad mood. Doesn't mean you're not a mindful person. It means now your mind's in a bad mood. You don't have to be in a bad mood. You could have that bad mood sit there. I woke up, like I said, I woke up days and my mind will tell me, what if my ears are stuck like this forever? And the next day I wake up and my mind will go, yeah, it's no big deal. Yeah. Each day I look at it and go, thank you and thank you, because both stories, they're just stories I'll be playing tennis with myself in volleyball. So the willingness is, I'm willing on the shitty days for my mind to go, oh my God, this is the worst. Oh, thank you, mind. What was I doing? And it doesn't go away, but now I'm choosing to do something I want to do because I'm willing to be in that situation. I'm willing to feel uncomfortable that day if my knees bothering me a lot today, or my ears are ringing a lot today, or my head, or whatever it could be. Yeah. Whatever, pick your poison out there because I'm sure everybody has one.
I'm sure backache,
whatever it might be. Yeah, a depressed mood, an anxious mood. It comes out of nowhere sometimes. Do it on the tough days. That willingness is where the fruits are earned, where you really make your progress.
Yeah,
you know.
The other one is this. It's very simple. So it's so subtle. It's so simple. When you were talking about, I know where I want to be, but there's these intrusive thoughts. The magic is knowing they are intrusive thoughts.
Exactly.
Once you know they're intrusive thoughts, you can kind of put them in their own perspective. Whereas I was trying to explain to this guy, where, let me ask you something. Is that what you want to feel? Of course not. Well, then that's why I'm saying if you just did a little work in mindfulness, you would see the intrusive thought and go, all right, thank you. That's not useful though. Thanks. You don't throw it out the window because there is no window to throw it out. There is no box to shove it in, right? There's no pool water to shove the balloon down under. But it's there. It's there. It is what it is. But you don't have to give it a microphone and say, go ahead, talk. No, all right, God. I want to go here. And we're going to go here. That's it. And little by little, that baby who's crying and yearning your attention, it's going to start subsiding. Little by little, with time, it'll start subsiding. By the way, I have many of those voices.
We all do,
yeah. Some of them bark louder on different days. And it's just a choice you make today. Am I going to pay attention to that story? Am I going to go along for that ride? And being mindful, you might find yourself slipping, and you woke up moody, and you're moody for the first few minutes until you notice
that your mind is moody. You don't have to be moody.
But you just gave your wife an attitude.
Yeah.
You just gave your daughter, and like, whoa. Okay. Reel it in. So I find myself, even today. Oh, my wife, my daughter were testing me. They didn't know they were nobody's doing anything wrong, but everything that they were doing was pissing me off. What did I do? Just be quiet.
Exactly.
Just be quiet and focus on, why are you upset? What is it to be upset about? For stupid comments? Obviously, my juices were off kilter, and I wanted to be upset, but I don't want to be upset. So what I do, took a moment. Some silence. Silence is
awesome. Sometimes
beautiful.
Just, sitting in silence is great.
And quickly, some reverse course. I'm back on, and there's no problem here. But if I would have gone down that story, I would have been arguing with my wife. It would have been a stupid and fruitless argument.
For no reason.
What are we talking about here? Really, it was stupid. Typical husband and wife stupidity.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Why'd you change the radio? Well, because you listen to that crap. Yeah, you understand? It's the stupidest things in the world that layer themselves, and then you end up having trouble down the road. And I'm not saying marital. I'm simply saying it's so silly and so fruitless. And you are mindful. Watch, I got this, because you're always looking from above. Be like, what's going on here?
Yeah, you get a different perspective. This gives you a completely different perspective on how to look at life, how to look at whatever's happening in your life, how to deal with whatever situations might come up in life. So that's why it's such an amazing practice to have in your daily life. And whether people decide to do it, whether people decide not to do it, only thing I can tell somebody is, look at your life, look at what you're dealing with now, look at what's going on in your daily life. Is there, and I'm not talking, when I say room for improvement, I'm not talking about like, how can you be more organized? Well, so time out. it can help with all that stuff too.
It does help.
How can you be more organized? I'm gonna tell them, how can your life, are you noticing on a daily basis a baseline of discontent, of
Something's there.
something's off, and just life, another day, another day, another dollar, doing it again,
Or a non-dollar in my case.
or $9, rinse and repeat, and get up, do it again, get up, do it again. The mundane life, life is boring after this. This is what life's about. This is how life is. If you're noticing that pattern in the back of your head repeating every day, maybe this is something that you should try. You should bring some awareness into your life, some mindfulness into your life, where start paying attention to those thought patterns and realizing you don't like those thought patterns. If I ask anybody who's in there going, oh, my life fucking sucks. Get up, go to work, come home, my life sucks. And I go, do you like that story in your head? What you have to do is a different, practically what's necessary to do for whatever reasons is a different story. But do you like that story in your head? No, of course I don't. But it's reality. What am I going to do? It is what it is. Exactly. It is what it is. That story that you keep saying to yourself, does it make that 8 feel like a 15? They might not answer. They might answer. The answer is yes, it does. It amplifies it completely. You're plugging in and you're amplifying it. You're making that situation seem that much more worse. So what's the benefit of it?
Yeah.
There is no benefit to it. Exactly. So what do you have to do tomorrow? I have to go to work. Okay. It's great. You have to go to work. You have to feed your family. You have to go to work. We all have to. They're all things that we do on a daily basis that we're not going to enjoy every task.
No.
But what if you got on the bus in the morning and you didn't get on the bus with the story, this sucks. You just got on the bus.
Mm-hmm.
And you were mindful and you were aware and you were present. You were there. You're realizing that it's not about getting off the bus. It's not about when I get to work. It's not about when I get home, because
or it's not even the goddamn bus.
Because you're living in a story in your head. It's, I'm on the bus right now. Suddenly, maybe that bus ride becomes more palatable. That's a word I love to use. Because why? Because now you're not chewing a sour candy anymore. Now you're just chewing a candy that maybe you don't love, but you're not. Right. And then you go to work and whatever you have to do there. Maybe you realize that, oh my God, I've been doing this. I don't enjoy this anymore. Like, I'm noticing like this, I want to live a different life.
That could happen.
And now you could make a shift and maybe change your life. So many doors open up when you pay attention to what you're actually doing and not just doing. It's, what do we say? It's not what you do, it's how you do it.
And
right?
the point is to notice it.
Oh yeah.
If you notice it, you're on your way. When you notice,
signing just says notice back there. Not the universal one. Notice.
If you notice, you're on your way. And I believe our show did something a little different than most, or basically every single mindfulness channel that I think exists.
Yeah, we're better. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, no. What did we do different is that I'm going to add something to your story about the person on the bus, because you just described, I would say, the majority of the people in the world, or at the very least the United States. This is our everyday grind. The bus,
so trying to make it mindful again. Yes,
but where we are a little bit different is that we bring the mindfulness framework, but we sprinkle in a little Joe. We sprinkle in a little Proctor. We sprinkle in a little even Steve Harvey. We sprinkle in useful things that is going to help highlight or magnify. We say, before you get anywhere near that bus, you tell yourself, before you leave your house, before you leave your dreaded house, this dreaded piece of shit apartment that I live in, before you leave that place, and you say, I don't got to go to work, I get to go to work.
That's a reframe. Yeah.
So before you do that, just and then say, I get to go to work. And then that shifts you a little bit to, what does that mean? And then you're like, well, how many people get to go to work? All these people, I gotta go to work. No. Get to go to work. Oh, I get to go to work. I get to earn a living. Honestly. It may not be what I want, but I get to honestly, you know what? If I can honestly go earn this living.
I will look even deeper into that, but.
Right?
So I love that. So we've said this before on the show. Right? You brought that up episodes ago,
with the I get to do something, that I got to do something. And I think it's a phenomenal way to look at things. You get to do it. But now look even deeper, because you might tell somebody who's like a real unconscious, like horse blinder,
a boar,
like a bull of
a buffalo,
a hard-headed, like he just, no, life sucks. Fuck you. All right, that's great. You get to go to work. Yeah, I get to go to this shitty job every day.
Yeah, this fuck hole.
But look even deeper. Who gets to go to work every day? You realize there's a choice there. Like now, start realizing you're not being forced to do it. You're choosing to do this. You're not getting like, yeah, you can look at it, and that's a great way to look at it, right? I get the opportunity to do something. I'm blessed. I'm grateful. Awesome. That's a big part of it. But then look at like I was just saying, look at the other side of it. You're getting to make a choice to do it. You're not forced to do it. You're choosing to do this. And when you choose to do something, another question might come up. Why am I choosing to do this? Because it benefits my family. And that's the reframe part of it, right? Not just I get to do it. I get to do it because I'm choosing to do this for the benefit of me, my family, for now. Maybe I have another goal, right? Maybe I want to leave my job and do something different. Okay, you could work towards that. But while you're working towards that and you get to go to this job every day, you have the opportunity to go to this job every day, why not look at it through a different lens?
Yeah.
Why not say, I'm not getting to go here like a prisoner like this. Okay, hands behind your back, let's go.
It's like
single file.
Yeah, modern day slavery.
Exactly. It's not, because you're not forced to go there. But if I don't go, my family's not going to eat. I get that. But you're not forced to do it. You're choosing to do it, right? Yes. So you're telling me you're willing to feel uncomfortable for the benefit of your family? Yes. That's a pretty noble thing. I think that's an amazing thing. Maybe all of a sudden that person looks at it and goes,
yeah, you forgot.
I forgot.
Or you didn't even notice it.
You didn't even notice it. Like, I'm doing this for a greater good. Like, there's a purpose in it. There's something beneficial in it. I'm not just doing it because so look how that same hour-and-a-half commute in a bus to the city, going down. This is my brother-in-law, Tom. He doesn't watch the show, but he go down Route 9, Penn Station, whatever it was, where the buses would go, the bus depot in town.
3 hours of his day.
Yeah, right. You get on the train, go to the office, and rinse, repeat, do it again. The man was miserable, like he hated it. And he hated it. He absolutely hated it. When he retired, like he loved it.
Couldn't wait.
But take a person like that, right? And unfortunately, this show started after he retired, or else I probably would have been like, Tom, hey, listen. But it's take a person like that and be like, why are you making that thing such a horrible thing? Why are you doing this? Because I have to. It's a job. Okay, you have a job. You get to go to work.
Right.
But like, I'll show you, you're actually willing to do it. And also, willingness is a choice. Like we go back to the beginning of the show. It's something empowering. It's not, nobody's going like this.
Mm-hmm.
Go to work. Go to work. No, there's no gun to your head. There's no. And even then you have a choice. Go pull the trigger. I'm not going. Right? You always have a choice. There's empowering in that. Like, even the shittiest of things, you can say, I'm going to go through this because my family needs it. It could be as simple as my family needs the money. I have to put food on the table.
No doubt.
Okay. But now all of a sudden, you're not going as a prisoner. You're almost going as your view of yourself changes from this miserable prisoner to, no, I'm a soldier of fortune for my family, doing what I do every day to help them. And I'm not saying like you're going to be like to get egoic about it and go, I'm the best. No. But why are you framing it as a horrible thing? You're actually you're doing the uncomfortable part every day without even realizing it. You just don't realize, you don't know or realize that you're willing to do something difficult every day for the benefit of your family. Yeah. How about you pay attention that you're actually doing that? And
there's a cool, crazy deeper thing going on here too. There's a matrix of,
can we get any deeper?
Yeah, I'm about to. There's a matrix of reasons, or let's say motivations, why. So we describe the average, bus taker, goer, commuter, has to go to work to, provide for his family. There's a good percentage of those people on that bus that are looking to move up in the world, to move up in terms of income.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
they have a goal yeah.
There's another percentage of people that
Sure.
are fine just hanging on to what we got. And there's another percentage of people that could care less. Okay, fine. So there's a matrix of
Agreed.
motivations.
Agreed.
But I'm going to speak to those that care, that want to, but unfortunately they got to bite the bullet. I'm going to say this, and Bob Proctor was the one that really helped me see. And Jim Rohn and Brian Tracy, who were right around after Bob Proctor, more around the same time, they were the ones that kind of pointed out to me where, so you got to take that same bus, you got to take that same commitment, that same time. You arrive to work and your boss is watching you. Yeah, hey, morning. Or might not even say anything.
I know you're going with this. Yeah.
But when you're reframed, you get to work and you walk in, you go, morning. There's a different energy about you. And there's a different willingness about you. So now you're at work. I'm at work. I'm present. I'm here at work. What's up? What's going on? Oh, because they said that, somebody didn't show up over there. Be like, if you want, I could leave here. I go there. Would you? Absolutely. Whereas before, what time is it already, bro? What time is it? Oh my God. The day goes on slowly.
Yeah,
you have opportunities.
That's the reframe. Yeah.
You have opportunities all around you. And actually,
I like that.
To cut this another way.
Well, those are the people that get noticed on a job. Yeah.
Right. And to cut it another way, I think it was somebody had said sometime where there are $1 million opportunities around you every day. The problem is you just can't see them.
Because you're not paying, because your head's down. You're walking with your head down looking at your feet.
Yeah.
Like this. Life sucks. This is the worst.
Yeah.
Life sucks. This is the worst.
So there may not be, but there are certainly things going on around you. But because
there's always something.
You're in your mental prison.
Yes.
And you need to understand that you have the key to your own mental prison. And then you unlock it, you open the door.
And you walk the fuck out.
You walk out. And by the way, doesn't mean you don't go back there once in a while. Sometimes you go back there and you just hang out. But you know what? You don't lock the door. You don't lock the door.
No, it doesn't. So that's awesome. There's a difference between revisiting the rabbit hole, where we would call it the rabbit hole,
right,
or the mental prison, or whatever you want to call it. But whatever analogy works for you, I like mental prison because that's great. Because when you're in there without realizing you're in there and thinking you can never leave, you don't realize it. You just said you have the key in your pocket. It's like when we say everybody has awareness and everybody has that awareness. They're just not paying attention to it.
I think so. Yeah.
It's there. Yeah. It's there. It's in the background. You just are not paying it. You're so caught up in the mind activity. You're not paying attention to this thing above that says, hi, I'm looking at everything, until you connect with it. And now I see. Okay. And that's the door's open. So even then now, like even Eckhart Tolle say it, sure. And that happens when you're going to get brought back into unconsciousness, even albeit for a short period of time, a day, a couple hours,
minutes.
It could be minutes. But you go back into that mental prison, you sit down and you look out, you go, holy shit, the door's open.
I'm back here again.
Right.
How'd I get here?
And you're going to get up, you're going to walk out, as opposed to spending years of your life thinking this is how it is.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I think for a lot of us, when I say us, I mean humans, we are in the mental prison. We don't know we're in the mental prison because for us, well, this is it. And what's worse, inside that cell, we get to the corner and we cower in the corner of our own mental prison. In the meantime, the real clock is ticking. And when you're on your deathbed, you're going to realize, oh my God.
You get thrust, usually on your deathbed is when you get thrust in. They say a lot of times that awareness, it gets thrust upon you. Like all of a sudden you get that, like,
I could feel that.
Yes, like that. Oh my God, what have I? Like all of a sudden, your mind, because your mind is dying off at this point, physically, your mind, and all of a sudden that separation just poof happens. And they say people have this peace as they're passing a lot, especially unconscious as they're passing, because all of a sudden they disconnect from that mind. And well, what if you could have that ability to watch it when you're 40, not when you're 85? You know, the help of God, 95, 105, as my father says.
Yeah, it's the mind is a very tricky thing, but once you kind of realize these choices that you have, it's incredible. You can use it as a tool. as opposed to it use you, and then you're chewed up like chewing gum, and you're like,
Yeah, I mean, so like going back to what you were saying in the beginning of the show, how do you get somebody that you so desperately want to
I have a soft sell.
yeah,
you know?
that you so desperately want to shake into awareness because it's human nature. You want to help somebody.
Mm.
I say shake, meaning like it's that person. You're like, I can make you see things differently. Not to say like shitty things aren't gonna. As long as we live in these meat buckets, is that what you call
Meat
them?
robots.
Meat robots. So we're in. You will feel pain. You will feel emotions. Shit will suck.
Yeah.
Shit will really suck, and shit will be great at times.
That's right.
But you're not a prisoner of it. Like if I can make you realize that, you'll see things so differently. It's hard because some people, unless that ability to notice, that willingness to want to notice it is there, they don't. Whether it's through seeing a mindfulness therapist, I would say, not just a regular therapist, but a therapist based in mindfulness or acceptance commitment therapy. They're ones who they show you that difference between I and the mind. The I, like, God said, I am. That's it. I am. They'll show you the I am and then the meat robot. Okay, here's I am. Here's the meat robot. In order for I am to realize it's on this planet, it needs the meat robot. And when the meat robot is no longer needed, the I am goes back to where it was.
You need an avatar.
You need it. Yes, we are. As Jim Carrey said, he goes. Depression is your mind telling you, I'm tired of playing this avatar. I'm tired of playing this
that's
avatar.
Very good. Okay, that's very
I'm
good.
tired of playing this fucking avatar. It's like your mind saying done, or your awareness, I should say. It's your spirit, your soul, your consciousness. That higher awareness actually getting it becomes so. It could be the desperation is so strong that you get. That's what I say. Ultimate suffering sometimes thrusts you into it, and you're like, I'm tired of this. That's a breakthrough moment.
It carried the load
if you pay attention.
Yeah.
Like people go, I can't take this anymore. I would love to say stop. Say that again. I can't take this anymore. What? I can't take my mind. I can't take these thoughts. Who can't take them? I can. But whose thoughts are they? If they're your thoughts, why can't? I don't say you can't. And all of a sudden,
appealing
a little bit. Even if it just goes, that's it. That's enough for them to go. Wait, what's that between that? And you start, and they can start pulling it apart completely. That's why I said. I don't know if I said during the show. Yeah, I did. I noticed biased.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
On it, like I'm like, oh my god, am I a dick? Like
no,
was I wired as a dick as a kid? Like I don't get it.
No,
like,
it's just
I know it's I'm making a joke, like because I'm like, well, that's a bias I have too. Holy shit, that's a bias. Yeah, look at that one. I used to feel like that all the time.
Right.
And like somebody will say something, I'll be like, my mind will go, what the? And I'm like, wow, look at it right there. Jealousy. Hi, how you doing? And that's where you could get to, but you have to be. So going back to what we're saying, you have to be, you can't shake a person into it. They have to want to.
Yeah. And that's where I was kind of going is that if you just give me a little bit of willingness, I think we can sell it softly. You don't have to do any special reading, although certainly it's better. You don't have to do anything special. Just let it softly be around you. Just basically don't reject it.
There's no one way to get there, by the way.
Right. Don't reject. That's all.
There's no one way. My way is not the right way. His way is not my way is not the right way, nor is it the wrong way. His way is not the right way, nor is it the wrong way. Your way is not the right way, nor is it the wrong way. It works for you. Your portal to get there worked for you. Beautiful. Your portal to work there gets for you. Beautiful. My portal to get there worked for me. Right? Whether through therapy or through somebody who does it and kind of open the doors for you and you see things differently, or a therapist, or reading a book by somebody that opens it, whatever it is. Like it could be one of 1,000 things, but all those doors lead to the same exact place. There's only one place they go to. That's it. And it's not like your door goes somewhere different. No, your door gets here. My door we all get there. We use our meat robots iOS system, the way it understands things. Like my iOS system understood, originally it needed a scientific answer, acceptance, commitment therapy, my expansion, value-based decisions, choice, awareness.
A label somewhere.
Yes, I'm labeling things. And all of a sudden, wow, Power Now makes a fuckload of sense now. That book, I get it. And then I was able to go even deeper and deeper. So however you get there, like you don't have to be like Henry and love Bob Proctor or love Scott Adams
Right,
or
right.
love Napoleon.
Napoleon
I was
Hill.
going to say Napoleon Bonaparte.
No, Napoleon Hill's good. But Jim
Napoleon
Rohn's
Hill.
great. Brian
Jim
Tracy's
Rohn-
great. All these people are great.
Or Tony Robbins. You don't have to be like me, who I, by the way, enjoy Joe Dispenza and all those
Oh,
guys too.
Right.
But like I listen to Eckhart Tolle when I work out, right? I'll listen to Sadhguru. I'll listen like,
Anthony was like,
what the
what the hell's
fuck?
wrong with you,
He's
dude?
like, what do you listen to? I'm like, Eckhart Tolle is telling me about inner consciousness and watching my thoughts and
Anthony's
how-
like with
how-
Megadeth or Metallica.
And people say, but hold on, in the gym, if I took everybody's headphones off, I'm probably one of I if I had to say 100 people, maybe 3 are actually listening to a self-help podcast like that.
One. And his name was John Emilio.
I don't know. I just when I'm working, and like you said before, this is what's great. This is how it ties in. I'm not even actively listening.
That's right.
I'm not because I can only like if I'm
It's
lifting
just-
weights over my head, I can't be listening. Oh, what's he saying? You know, I'll be working out, but he's in the background. And all of a sudden, a word catches me, like boom.
That's right.
Yeah, he talks about, you know, are you making your goals your direction or your destination, like something like that, you know, or are you looking for like, you know, immediate satisfaction? Are you attached to your thoughts, or are you blah blah, whatever it might be, and it'll catch me, and I'll, okay, that's great, and then I go back to whatever I'm doing. But that's why
I honestly I don't.
that's
have,
the passive part of it that you were talking about.
I don't have the knowledge to tell you how much or how it happens.
There's no right answer.
But I don't have the knowledge. All I feel and all I know is that there is an osmosis aspect to this of just have enough around you.
Now I get what you were saying at the beginning of the show a little bit better.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just have enough
Soaks in.
around you. And all of a sudden, yeah, it'll start to, and all of a sudden you know what I noticed.
Got it.
You know?
Got it.
It's a soft sell as opposed to read the book, which by the way, read the book. But if you cannot or you do not want to,
No.
or whatever it is,
It's only 88 pages, really. I'm joking.
you know, I mean, if you read the book, you would understand. But
It's not even, if you read a book, whether it's Eckhart Tolle's book or Tony Robbins' book or whatever.
so I
it's
just
called,
realized something
Bob Proctor.
with that person I was talking about. They were under distress. It's the only time people open the door to you is under distress.
Because they notice that they're not liking what's happening in here. And that's a cue. That's clickbait. That's them going, I'm struggling. Now, there's only so much you could do even at that moment. Like, you know, you can't take them and go like, hey baby, you could, yes, if it's a family member, let's just say you could console them. Like, all right, we'll get through this together, blah, blah, blah. You know, whatever the right things,
Right.
the comforting, empowering things are to say, right? Not, don't worry, it's going to be okay, because what happens if it's not okay?
Sure.
That's why I don't like to say, don't worry, it's not going to be okay. I say, we're going to handle this together. We're in this together. We're good. Don't worry about it. We're good. All right, we got it. Let's take the next step and let's see where this goes. So, I mean, that person, even when they're in distress, you could only do, like, you got to look at them and go, do you hate it? Does it suck? You want to find a way out or through? I could show you. And if they still, no, oh, okay. And it sucks because if it's somebody you care about, the last thing you want to do is watch somebody you love suffer. But what's the other choice? You can't force it down their throats.
No,
Because
no.
they're going to just throw it right back. They're going to literally vomit it back at you.
Well, this is what we do here. This is what I'm saying is soft, even a soft that doesn't require any extra heavy lifting from your side. But maybe
Play it in the background.
when you go on that bus to work, you
don't want to hear these voices?
and before you set foot on that bus, you said to yourself, today I get to go to work. You put on our show and you sit there and you absorb just how special of a moment you're in, because there are other people that are not having this moment and you get to have this moment. And when you get to work, you're going to be like, let's go. We could do this. We could absolutely do this. And you're going to go and you're going to do it. And you're going to see an opportunity. Where's the opportunity? Come on, opportunity. Where are you? It may not be there that day, but there may be one tomorrow.
If you're paying attention.
And before you know it, things happen.
you also change your energy field.
Yes.
I know that's a little.
And what happens when you change your
but
energy field? Other people with similar energy
start navigating towards you.
start to.
So the life sucks people is the worst. Look at the people that are talking around the water cooler.
You mean the smokers?
Whatever. It could be the smokers outside, but just because you smoke doesn't mean you're not mindful. But I don't. Not that I smoke, but cigars I do actually, but not cigarettes. But I would say, look at the water cooler and listen to the conversation. Now, you said, the old adage, right? I don't know if they do water coolers anymore. I haven't worked in an office in 40 years. But the old water cooler talk, go around the water cooler. Let's see. There's 3 people there. Let's listen in on the conversation. This sucks. This is the worst. Yeah. Oh, my God. I know Joe is I hate this fucking job. Our boss, he's a fucking asshole. Blah, blah, blah. So if that was me and I was that third person today, I'd walk in, go, hey, guys, how are you? This sucks. The worst.
That's it.
I'd walk away.
100%.
Right. And also, I'm walking away and Henry's by the coffee machine. Hey, Henry, how you doing? Good. How's everything? Living in the moment. And Henry goes, huh?
Living in the moment?
Bro, all right, man. I like that. Yeah. That's good. Oh, yeah. You ever hear of Eckhart Tolle? Oh, my God. Yes, I've heard. And all of a sudden, you're attracting a different person around you. The vibe changes. Not because like, you're a magnet and they're all going to find you. No, because you're removing yourself from that shitty, this is the worst. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. That same story. And you're removing yourself because you have the intention of attracting a different story. And that story starts to come to fruition because you stop keeping yourself stuck in that same narrative. That's it. That's the whole rinse and repeat. So why is it rinse and repeat? Look at what you did this morning. Did you do the same things? Yes. Did you act the same way? Yes. Did you have the same frame of mind? Yes. Did you believe the same story? Yes. What result do you expect? That's actually Joe Dispenza, which plays right into this. What do you expect the universe to give you? Hey, you know what? Don't worry about it. I'm going to send enlightened people your way. Enlightened people? Fuck out of here. All right, I tried. And this is the worst. This is the worst. This is the worst.
I tried.
The universe is like, I tried. What do you want me to do? Right? It's like that old story with there was a fisherman who's lost. We said this joke. I don't know if it's on the show. There's a fisherman who's lost out at sea.
Yeah.
Lost out at sea, right? And he's praying to God, God, please save me. God, save me. God, save me. A boat comes, says, sir, do you need help? No, God's going to save me. Okay. Second boat comes. Sir, do you need help? No, God's going to save me. All right. Third boat comes. Sir, do you need help? God's going to save me. Okay. And they leave. And the guy drowns and dies. He goes to heaven. He goes, Lord, why didn't you save me? God goes, I sent you 3 boats. You weren't paying attention. He goes, I tried to save you 3 times. So it's that same thing. If you don't pay attention to the energy in life and the things in life that can benefit you, and you keep in that same narrative every day. This guy believed that God was going to save him. He didn't want to look at it. He didn't want to take the blinders off and see. His mind was telling him this is the story and that's it. How about if you just take the blinders off and see that this isn't the only story? Are there other things out there? You could experience life in a different way.
And once you're on the path of mindfulness, you sort of are able to, I can't say look for, but detect. You detect the people, and you're a vibrator. At least I am. And like,
no, I think that's true. Most mindful people will tell you that.
I sort of, I'm going to say something, and I hope everybody can understand, but some of us have a light within us, and some of us are dark. And I can see those that have a light, because you can see, for example, I'm in an office filled with different types of people, personalities. And there's a few people I'm not going to say anybody's name because I don't, God forbid, but I will tell you in private because I truly enjoy their light.
I get that.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's the people at the water cooler that I consider dark. And there's that guy who you found me by the coffee machine. I have a light. Whereas I'm not trying to damper you. I'm actually trying to lighten you. And the people at the water cooler are the dark forces. Like, again, I hate this. I get what you're saying. I'm completely using this.
They're non-aware people.
Yes. I'm using this
So
vocabulary.
their light is very dim,
That's it. And
but it's still there, but it's just dim.
I just, once you practice mindfulness, you feel it. You absolutely feel it. And it's great. It's just something very good. And you gravitate towards it.
That vibe is real. Yeah.
You gravitate towards it.
Sure. You could talk to somebody, and within a couple of minutes of talking to that person, you start seeing their bias, you start seeing their angles, you start seeing genuine, not genuine, you start seeing, is this a person who's in a story in their head, or is this a person who sees life through a different lens? Like, you pick that up on somebody. I'm not saying somebody can't be a good talker and convince you of something. Yeah, I'm sure if somebody's really good and, they're, uber loquacious and they're very good with throwing words around and they could, spin a yarn. Sure.
Right.
I'm not saying that, but you could pick up on, is this person like, are they stuck between the ears or are they not? Like, are they looking down or are they looking out through here, or do they actually understand that the meat robot isn't who I am?
Yeah. Well, it's just like a deeper meaning.
Yeah, it's a deeper meaning.
That's all. It's like a deeper understanding of. But yeah, I don't know how long we've gone, but
we're under an hour.
Yeah,
So yeah,
right.
just about a couple minutes under.
These
But
poor people, they paid for good tickets. They got front row seats.
I don't know who they're paying.
YouTube.
If you are, please send the check to, because it hasn't come in the mail yet. Unless I send collection after all you people. No. So, so that's it. Willingness. Be willing to make a change in your life. Be willing to see things a different way.
Yeah, just be open to it.
Be open to it. Pay attention. When you get up to go to work on Monday, what's the story in your head?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me if you like it or not. If you don't like it, maybe you start to realize you don't like it. Notice you don't like it.
Yeah.
Pay attention that you don't like it, and then go, who doesn't like it?
Mm.
Ask yourself that question and see what happens.
Because it could be that they don't like it. It could be you like what you do, you just hate who you do it with. It could be a lot of things.
Yeah, but I'm saying the story, not just the task. Sometimes you have to do, like I said, you have to do the task because the task is required and necessary for whatever outcome that is needed at that moment in life. But the story, do you hate the story?
Right.
Does the story annoy you? Is the story, this is the worst there? If it is, ask yourself, whose story is that? Is that my story? Do I want that story? I know I have to do this. I know it's important to do it. But is that the story that I want to take into this or not? Then again, you make personal choices in life. You could do whatever you have to, you could, with that, you could actually decide to leave that store, leave that environment and go somewhere else. You're like, you know what? I really don't enjoy this. Why am I doing this to myself? I could do different things in my life. I could experience life differently. Okay, great. As Eckhart Tolle would say, some people who experience mindfulness and that thinking that where they start to watch their thoughts and become these watchers in their life. Some go to monasteries and become monks because they love that. They've left their families and everybody, and they've said, "I've decided I'm going silent."
It's a powerful feeling.
It is a powerful feeling, but not everybody does that. So there's always a personal choice there, right? That person maybe didn't have a family with 3 kids. Maybe he was just had a girlfriend and he decides to leave his girlfriend to go to a So, I mean, there's circumstances, but you could make that choice, but only when you realize what's going on and you realize the story that's there, that's either keeping you in your mental prison with the closed, or do you realize the key's in your pocket?
Yeah.
Open it and go. So I'm done.
Yep.
All right. Very good. So thanks everybody for joining. We will see you guys next week.
On the next one.
More mama stuff coming soon.
That's it. Do your part, please.
Spread mama, baby.
That's it.
Spread
mama. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Spread make America mindful. I'm sorry. Spread hashtag mama. Spread hashtag mama. Make America mindful again. Because that's what we do here. We're making America mindful again. That was an epic fail. And I'm going to leave that in the show, actually. I'm not going to edit that one out.
That's fantastic, bro. People need something to laugh at.
I'm not going to edit it. But they'll only get to laugh at that if they stay to 59 minutes.
I'm sure they did.
If they didn't, you missed the joke.
I'm sure they did.
Cool beans. All right, everybody. Have a great week. We'll see you guys next time. Peace. The insights and discussions that we speak about on our show are our own opinions and based on our life experiences. If you or someone in your family or someone you know is suffering and in need of help, please get them that help through medical attention or seeking proper therapy. Again, what we speak about are based on our experiences and not intended to be taken as a form of therapy. Thank you.